you're now no longer doing stand-up because you've always been working. Like you played the agent. I remember Kirstie Alley freaking out at how good you are as the agent on Fat Actress. Remember we did that show together?
Yes, I did.
And you played a guy, and I think you had a bit of an accent. You had a bit of a southern...
Yeah, there was a real agent, her real agent, and she hoped that I would mimic him. So I just did my best.
You did. Yes.
That was a really fun show, actually.
I know. You know where they went wrong? They should have treated it like it was a very serious show and don't let them smell the joke. And I think that they tried to do the opposite. And it was just a bit of a rookie mistake in this sense.
And it's really common, I think. Not necessarily. I don't know if it was the producers. It was probably the studio people or the network people who they, especially back then. Now they're much more comfortable with like. Let it play a little more straight. You don't have to have a joke every 5 seconds, or in a lot of dramas they'll let things, bleed. They're mixing it up.
Here's the problem. Now, like for example, with the Goldbergs and things like this, what kills you in these TV shows is that they sell advertising space. So to squeeze in an extra 20 seconds, 40 seconds, what do? They shorten the time, the pauses between the actors.
Oh, I know this because
timing. When you produced the show,
well, yeah. What I was, I directed.
What's the show
you're
producing and running?
Oh, the show I'm doing right now is called Nobodies. It's on TV Land, and it is created by three old friends from the Groundlings, which is a theater that I'm from, and then it's produced by.
For you guys who know, Mike McDonald was. You're sort of an all-star in terms of a groundling. But if you think about who came out of the Groundlings,
it's insane.
Wasn't it? Can you go through the list for a second?
Will Ferrell, Sherry O'Terry, Maya Rudolph, Anna Gasteyer, Chris Kattan, Chris Parnell, Kristen Wiig, Lisa Kudrow, Cheryl Hines.
Dude, did Steve Carell come out of there?
No, he was
Second City.
He was Second City.
Yeah,
and I'm probably. I'm sure I'm leaving out Mikey Day, Taran Killam.
So many.
It just goes on and on.
So many people.
And then tons and tons of writers and producers. And
I always say that people who come to LA, they go, I want to be an actor. I go to the Groundlings. I just know what their track record is. They're great acting teachers. I was in acting class forever. There's Ivana Chubbuck. There's Howard Fine. There's all kinds of Beverly Hills Playhouse. Great. But there's something about the Groundlings that, like Rachel Harris.
Rachel Harris, another one.
Another beast.
Well, they also I think they encourage you. What's good is they encourage you to go for character and to write, and so that's truly like for me. That I think that's how I've ever gotten whatever I've gotten has been partially because there was a writing element.
And
if you can write, then you
eyes.
can. If you can write your own stuff, then regardless of what kind of show you're on, you can improvise a good line of dialogue, or you can write your own vehicle. Or
how long were you on Mad TV?
I did 10.
You did 10 years?
I did 10.
10 fucking years.
And our ships just passed.
Yeah, I only did 2 years. I got fired after the second I wasn't coming up with characters. Here's the thing. And
it's too bad. I would have loved to have worked with you.
Oh man, we would have had a blast. But you were on for 10 goddamn years.
Yeah, I was. I knew
you're the longest running Mad TV alum because the show was 14 years.
Right. I came in year 4 and left the year before.
Were you 10. A bit of a? Did you when you were an OG? You must have been a bully. Did you bully the new kids?
I don't think so.
Because you're taller than everybody.
I don't think so. I don't think I was a bully. I loved when new people came on, especially when they were good.
Yeah.
That was just like, I can remember like when Ike Barinholtz came on, and I just pulled him aside and I said, "You're fucking great. Hold on to this job. You're a blast to work with." You know?
Would you have done anything different? Would you have stayed 10 years, or not?
I'm glad I did. I mean, I knew because I didn't get on. I got on the show late. I was like 10 years practically older than everybody, even when I first got on the show.
Yeah.
And I knew how hard it was to get a job. So like the people that were anxious to bail, which everybody was, it seemed.
Yeah.
I knew that a job was hard to find.
I felt, dude, I felt when I got the job, I was 27, 28. I just had been auditioning in New York for so long. Mm-hmm. And when I say so long, I mean 4 years. That was plenty of time for me to realize that that when I was on TV and I got this job, it was literally like holding it in a headlock.
Yeah.
I say this about this podcast. Look, man, I make money on this podcast.
How much?
I make a fortune. I own a helicopter. I'm going to give you my chopper phone number. But I mean, the fact that I have a steady source of income on this podcast, I do it twice a week. That we get, I think we're going to get maybe 11 million downloads this month. I don't even know what to say about it. But the bottom line is, I am never letting this fucking go. It's that trauma of being an actor back in the day. When you just didn't know where. And when I got fired from Mad TV, I thought I was going to go on to do huge things. And you're right. Everybody on the show is like, get me off this show. I want friends. I want my own. Well, then you realize, oh, I'm getting back into the room with everybody else.
Yep.
And I better win that audition, and there's no second place, and I have to be number one out of the fucking 1,000 people.
And there's 5 people that look exactly like you do and kind of do
or better
your
looking,
stuff or
they're better for it.
Yeah, it's I mean, I never get anything from auditions anyway. It's almost always like from people I've already worked with.
Me too.
Or whatever. And in fact, even when I was on Mad TV and knew like I just couldn't put on another wig, or I didn't want to, didn't want to do the baby character one more time. I asked to direct. It was another thing too, because they're pretty cheap.
Yeah.
As far as TV jobs go. So I sort of said, all right, if you're not going to give me, the big bag of money, let me do more things and try and learn a new trade so that I have something to fall back on when I went back out. And I'm really glad I did, because I ended up directing a bunch.
You directed a lot. You direct a lot of TV. I mean, I know the last time I was talking to you, you were directing a shitload.
Yeah, I've done like, over 100 episodes.
That's a great job. Do you not love that?
It's great. There are funny things about it. I think it's probably made me a better. You were saying, like, were you a bully on Mad TV? I wouldn't say I was, but I definitely am sure I looked at things as an actor does. I took a lot of things for granted, and now I'd say I'm much more like aware of how hard everybody else around is working.
Yeah.
And what all the people that show up way before you ever get there and who leave way after you leave, and how they're all just trying to help you look good.
Yeah.